I am Krishana. I am Krishana. I am Krishana. I am Krishana. Hi guys. So we're talking about procrastination. One of the things I will tell you straight off the bat is if you intend to not procrastinate and to be productive at what you do, the first thing you need to find is motivation. If you're not motivated to do anything, you won't get anything done. Whether we realize it or not, motivation is key. It's the number one reason why we get along with everything else. The bills might be due, the kids may need food, you may be in need of a lot of things, but if you're not motivated to do something about it, nothing actually gets done. So let's start there. Procrastination, the act of delaying or putting off something, anything, everything. If you tend to do things where you're gonna do it tomorrow, I'll do it today, but I'll do it tomorrow, and it's consistent, meaning it keeps going on and on and on. If you know that you've been planning to go to school and it's been a few years and you keep saying you're gonna do it next term, next semester, next year, I'm sorry to say you're a procrastinator. People procrastinate about many things. It's a part of life, but it doesn't have to be your first choice. Procrastination simply means that you're not in your most productive element. It's not just being lazy. A lot of persons feel like when you procrastinate, you are lazy. That's not accurate. There are 4 types of procrastinators. There's the performer, the self-deprecator, the overbooker, and the novelty seeker. It is what it is. Let's fix your procrastination. It's not simple. It requires work. It requires dedication. It requires motivation. It requires you actually wanting to get the job done. It requires you knowing what you want to do and being able to get out there and do it. Have you ever procrastinated about calling someone you love? Just simply picking up the phone, but because of fear or because of lack of knowledge, as in to know what may happen when you call that person, we usually don't. And we put it off until tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes next month, and next month becomes next year, and next year becomes they're gone. Procrastination kills. Does it make people ill? It does. It contributes towards depression, and depression is a whole other story. But what it kills and who it kills is you and me. Are you gonna allow it to kill you? Are you gonna allow it to numb your creativity? Are you gonna allow it to not let you shine? Are you going to allow procrastination for you to live this beautiful life we're given on earth and not explore what you were here for, why you were here, and to be in your element, your God-given talent? Will you sit down every day and say, I'm going to start that project, that business, that study, but never get it done? Let's beat procrastination. Let's get something done. One step, one day at a time. Procrastination may be systematic of a psychological disorder. Procrastination has been linked to negative behavior patterns, such as depression, irrational behavior, low self-esteem, anxiety, and neurological disorders, such as ADHD. Procrastination usually happens when people fear the outcome or have an anxiety reaction about important tasks waiting for them. To get rid of negative feeling of procrastination or the uncertainty of the results, people usually find things to pass the time, like Instagram or Facebook. Isn't it funny how we would watch somebody's life over and over and over again, even if it's not very productive. Like, what? But you won't get your thing done. You won't put yourself in alignment. You won't put your list of to do and actually act on something, one task at a time. If you delay, if you make excuses, if you keep putting it off, you procrastinate. And if you procrastinate, sad to say, it weighs on you. And you start feeling guilty and non-productive and unsuccessful. And sometimes when you don't, it's just you making excuses as to where you're really at and where you really need to be. How are we going to beat procrastination? Forgive yourself for procrastinating and for procrastinating in the length of time you've actually done so. Sitting down and thinking about what you did yesterday, last year, 2 years ago, a month ago, or didn't do, doesn't get you anywhere in the present today. So the first thing we need to do is move on. Move on from the fact that you did not read that book. Move on from the fact that you have not started to study. Move on from the fact that you have not called your kid. Move on from the fact that you have not called your parents. Move on from the fact that you've not called your friend. Move on from the fact that you have not started that business. And do what? You thought it. Start. Start today. Don't be bothered about making a long to-do list that never gets done. Let's do one thing at a time. So let's start with a list of 2 things or 3 things. And then we're going to now make a list of what you need to do in order to get those things on the list started. And you do them 1 day at a time, or 1 hour, or 1 minute. I mean, hey, if you wasted 5 years procrastinating about that one thing, isn't it worth using 1 day or 2 hours getting at least the written task done? Planning, so that your plan in action will now become your dream. I'm just saying, procrastination doesn't work for any of us. Trust me, I know. I've been there. So you have forgiven yourself for procrastinating so long. Well, it took you about time. Now, what we're going to do is commit to a task. Just choose the task. Is it going to be simple? No, it isn't going to be simple. But we have to start somewhere. So now that we've actually moved on from the fact that yes, it took us 4 years, yes, it took us 2 months, yeah, we've been delaying with excuses. We're over that, right? Good. Now we commit to whatever task it is that we need to get done. So if you need to get registered for school, get registered for school. Go online. If you can't go online, drive on over. I'm just saying, why make excuses your best friend when action works even better? Now, this doesn't work for me, but if it works for you, promise yourself a reward. Many times out of none, take a kid for instance. If they don't want to do their homework or they don't want to clean their room and you promise them a reward, you promise them a prize, they get it done, right? Okay, so be a kid today. Promise yourself something nice. Treat yourself to something good. And that's something to look forward to. Like I said, that doesn't work for me, but it may motivate you. For me personally, my treat or trick would be maybe a 1-hour call to the bestie, or just taking a road trip, or just splurging and shopping. But whatever it is for you that makes you feel like, okay, I accomplished this milestone and I want to get a nice little time because this is what I did and I did good, then let that be your motivation. Because in beating procrastination, the one thing that you need more than consistency is motivation. Now, this one really worked for me. Ask someone to check up on you. Ask your mom, your sister, your best friend, even your kid. Just Ask someone to keep you in line with what you're doing. See, the thing is, if you have nothing to live up to, you won't set any standard for yourself. But if you say, hey, I'm starting school tomorrow, or let's be realistic, I'm starting school next semester. If someone is checking up, did you register? Are you getting registered? Hey, I'm so proud of you because you're registering. It's about time. I know you're going to do great. It can go a far way, and it's a form of motivation. So like I said, if it works for you based on your personality, just put that on your go-to. Make sure that the person that matters is in your corner. And when they're in your corner, it means that they will check up on you. They will hold you accountable for your goal that you have set, because it is your goal. It's your accomplishment. I mean, yes, the kids will benefit. Your wife, your husband, your friends may benefit. Your family will benefit. But the truth be told is, it's your life. It's your task. It's your kill or be killed. And we're killing procrastination, right? Most importantly, act as you go. If you are doing or say you're gonna do something, it requires action. And you will find that the instant you start acting, the instant you start doing, the instant you start getting things done, movement over speech, that's when the real game begins. Minimize distractions. It's very easy to become distracted. It's very easy when you are not motivated, or you're coming from a place where you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do or what you need to do. When you're coming from a place where you've been making excuses, to get right back where you started, procrastinating. So in order to make sure that you are not going back to procrastination or going back to your habit of making excuses and delaying and say you're gonna get it done, minimize your distraction. Cut the chit chats, cut the Instagram, cut the Facebooks. Start watching things that motivate you in your purpose of the path that you are directed to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, let me say it again. Get rid of the distractions. Whether you want it to be part-time until you're strong enough to do what you need to do now for you, everything else needs to pause. It's either that or you learn to find a balance. Whichever works for you, works for me. There's a popular thing I read. Aim to eat the elephant in the room. It's on Google, look it up. Why would you enter a room and fill your tummy with just an ant? It's like old time people normally say, if you aim for the stars, you must drop in at the sky. Bottom line is, that kind of makes sense. But I think the concept, aim high enough, you won't reach very far from where you were aiming to go. But if you aim for the floor, then you'll never get midway to sky. If you're doing a test and you aim to get 70 and you did not get all correct to get a 70%, you're gonna fall below the 70. So maybe if you aim for 100, you'll actually get that 70. Maybe you'll get 100. Maybe you'll get a 90. But it doesn't hurt to aim for the biggest number or the biggest thing. So have a mindset where you want to succeed at the highest value. Have a mindset where you know that in beating procrastination, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be free flow. It's not going to be like, hey, are we best friends? No. It's a pattern. It's a bad habit that you have over a period of time that became easy to make excuses about. So you will not get rid of it easily. But you will see a pattern through consistency. If you develop a routine where instead of saying I will do it tomorrow, or I can't do it, or I'll do it next month, and you replace that with, okay, I'm going to get this done today. I did not get all of that done today, but I'm going to get this section done. Be realistic. Do not be realistic where you tell yourself, okay, it can't be done because I have work. Make opportunities for yourself. Isn't that sun and that breeze beautiful? We don't always glow. But when you're procrastinating, even your glow is dim. When you are procrastinating, it doesn't matter how good you think you're doing, you can do way better. Can you imagine shining as bright as the sun in all its glory? I'd be scorched. My personal advice towards procrastination: get started. Take action. Act every day, every hour, every opportunity you get. You may start today and you stop tomorrow, but don't give up. Never make excuses. No more excuses. Just keep going. If you start today and you mess up tomorrow, use something, someone to motivate you or to hold you accountable. But just keep going. I promise you, you will see the results. Treat yourself good. Do not live in the past. Do not live in what I should have done, or what I could have done, or what I didn't do, or what I'm... Just do it. Most importantly, know what you want and go after it. And if you have no opportunities, create some for yourself. There's motivation all around us. The question is, are you looking? Are you seeking? Do you want it? How bad do you want it? Procrastination is not your friend, it is your enemy. It feels good to say, I will do it tomorrow. I will start next year. I'm gonna do it, but it never gets done. But it feels even better to get it done. It feels so bad when you start and you fall or you fail and you feel uncertain, but then when you continue, it feels so good to know that you have accomplished. Please, for your own sake and your own future and your children's future and their children's future and your children's children's future, stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. I promise you, the journey will not be easy. Tell me which journey on this life has ever been flawlessly easy, but it will be worth it. It's like having a disease or a fungus or an infection and finally getting rid of it. It's gonna be that good. Beat procrastination today. I am Prashana. Thank you so much. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment below and email me if you have any questions on any topics that you would like me to speak on at iamprashana@gmail.com. Until next time, take care.